about motif and theme. So we've already been talking about motif, and that is an image or idea which shows up again and again throughout a work. And then the examples are on your charts, and you can get out your charts too. You've got community, fulfillment, belief, and all the others that are listed on there. So you guys are decently familiar with that. So how familiar are you with the theme? Have you heard this term before?
All the time. Yeah, they're not going to go that fast.
Sorry. We'll give you some time. Theme is what? Heard daily. Alright, that makes me happy. Spend one daily sense.
There you go.
First grade.
Yeah. Meat.
Oh, she's the one who told me I wasn't talented and gifted enough.
Talented and gifted, yeah.
I wasn't tagged.
I wasn't allowed to be. I wasn't talented and gifted.
I was.
Alright.
You was late.
Okay, so theme is something you've heard before, but we haven't really talked about it in regards to this book yet. Theme is a more complex, overarching thought or idea the author presents to the reader. It develops throughout the text, and usually the reader needs to figure it out. It's not exactly, the author doesn't come out and say, here's the theme of my novel. It's usually something you have to figure out based on the text as you're reading. And
So it's indirect.
it's indirect.
I don't read that.
Is it learned?
What?
Is it
Inferred.
Inferred.
I see
And these are often confused. Sometimes there's some confusion between theme and motif. So
Or even like, I'm sorry,
No, go
even
ahead.
professionals, like you'll read in like actual articles or people will be like, oh, the theme of love. It's not a theme.
yeah, that's true. If it's one word, it's definitely not a theme. And even as I was like researching online,
People say it is.
yeah, people will say, like if you go on SparkNotes, they'll say, oh, the theme of like love throughout the novel. That's definitely not a theme. If it's one word, it's not a theme.
So a theme is like,
The theme is the theme of love.
complete sentence.
Yeah.
Like, don't lie to your loved one. Exactly.
That would be a theme.
Or the theme of love.
No,
It's not one word. It's the theme of love.
no, just
Forward.
quiet.
But it's not the theme of the story, it's the theme of love, or just quiet.
What is the theme of love?
The theme would be,
Alright, so if love was the motif, then love might be, like love endures through everything. That could be a theme statement.
What is the author saying about love?
Right, exactly. So we're going to talk about how these two are related. How are they related? A motif is a smaller, simpler element which can show up repeatedly to help develop the more complex theme. So, yeah, like we were talking about earlier, so if love was a motif, then love endures through hardship might be an example of a theme statement in a work. Mason?
So like if you did use that theme of like love endures hardship, then like with the motive like that we wrote down were beliefs that Bobby is Catholic and Nancy is Methodist, that's like a hardship. And
Okay, if you were taking love endures everything and trying to apply it to this novel,
You'd be hard pressed.
yeah, you would be.
But yes, that would be like an example of how
Yeah.
to provide that.
I didn't mean to say that that should directly apply to this novel. I'll give you one
You
though
won't.
that will apply to this novel. So, we talked about this section, Perry, and how he has had a really hard life. He ended up going out and killing these people. So we can say inevitably a person is largely a product of his or her environment and upbringing. Jake?
Doesn't it ever say like who killed who? Or, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you'll get there. They'll answer
Oh,
more
my-
questions.
Section 3 is actually called answers. Thus, many will be.
We've been waiting so long. So you've got that, that's your theme, and then you can think about what we have here, our little motifs that have been developing this theme throughout the book. You've got belief in religion, the good and evil, and family and community ties. He uses all of those repeating elements to develop this broader theme. You guys here? Okay, so we're going to take it a step further, and we're going to talk about an essential question. Has anyone heard the term
Can I give a piece
essential?
of advice?
Yeah.
I was gonna bring it like 3 minutes, you're not gonna get through them.
All right.
So, I would have to save this for tomorrow.
So go ahead and save this for tomorrow.
Sorry.
And we're going to come back. We only have 2 more slides. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Make sure you do the reading for tomorrow, though. It's the end of section 2.
Can you change like the bright blue because I'm throwing my eyes.
When I was making
Looks
it,
terrible.
Like whenever I was sitting back here, like it was all blue.
I saw you just
Like
show
your honey in
It
there.
was terrible.
No, I'll change it.
You can stay seated until the bell rings in a chair